Noted. This keeps coming up for a vote. They brought it up yesterday. Thune brought up another vote to fully fund the Pentagon for a year, and they still said no. David Bossie with us, president of Citizens United, part of the RNC out of Maryland. Mr. Bossie, good to have you back. Welcome in.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for having me back.
How do you frame this? I mean, I suppose if you look at polling, it kind of depends on which polls you look at. Does the party in charge get blamed for shutdowns? I mean, historically, when Democrats are involved, they don't. So how do you see this politically right now?
Well, you're right. Historically, the party in charge does get blamed, but these are not normal times. Donald Trump has made it very clear in his leadership that he's not going to have wasteful spending. He's not going to continue the waste, fraud, and abuse that's been going on in this country for generations. And so he's taken control of the appropriations process, going back to what is called regular order in the House of Representatives, which is where all spending starts. And so it's really a tremendous testament to his will, really, to be honest with you, because this is something that America doesn't see. The Democrats are, and your last caller, he is right, but I understand the confusion. It requires 60 votes in the Senate to pass an appropriations, anything of spending, okay, any kind of budgetary issue. So it's not a filibuster per se, but it is a filibuster-proof number that they need. So you need 60 votes. The Democrats will not join the 53 Republicans, and because that's what it is. I think that if the American people if they just saw a visual aid of Democrats versus Republicans, who's for it and who's against it, I think they would see it much clearer, but they don't. We're not seeing it. We're just hearing about it.
See, here's the thing, David. David Bossie again with us, Citizens United and RNC committeeman out of Maryland. I think that most Americans, to be honest with you, and I don't mean to disparage anybody that's collecting a check from the federal government, working in agency offices around the country, but by and large, most of us who are in the private sector around the country don't notice much of a difference in our day. Now, maybe that will change, but right now we don't. And so politically, I don't believe that Democrats have got some sort of chokehold on the discussion. I think most of the country understands full well what's going on here.
Such a good point. You know, the boy who cried wolf is where we are here. The mainstream media, which is a collective of left-wing people who support.
Oh, we just lost David, so we'll try to get him back in just a little bit. Telephone number 855 Stigall. Let's go to Illinois and talk to Larry. Meanwhile, hey Larry, good morning. Glad you called. Welcome into the show on Open Line Friday. Hi.
Well, I guess I'm sharing the same kind of line that the last caller's was, where the bird flew over and knocked the power out or whatever.
A lot of birds today. Not sure what the reference is, but glad you called.
Yeah.
What's on your mind, Larry?
Democrats have been giving us the bird for a long time. But, one thing before I wanted to compliment you on your losing your weight.
Thank you.
But I also wanted to say, if Congress and the Democrats really wanted to show us they're honest, they would say, okay, we are going to live under the same standards you live under. The only one I know of is Mike Johnson. He lives paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah. David,
and the rest of these. Go ahead.
No, Larry, I appreciate the call, but David Bossie is back with us. And so to that point, interestingly, they've started asking members of Congress whether they're going to do without their checks. That is a point, David, that comes up time and again. We were just talking before we got cut off. The American people don't notice much of a difference in their day-to-day lives, but I am hearing a lot of people ask, why are members of Congress getting paid during this time? And now that's becoming a litmus test. So sorry, take it away, David. Welcome back.
You're right. Look, there's not a lot of pain to be felt, to your point and question. The American people stand with common sense budget reform. They stand with President Trump. They're not, look, we all want the military to get paid. We all want our federal law enforcement officers to get paid, the FBI. We want everyone who is doing the job that they got hired to do and doing it well to get paid. But there's so much duplicative efforts within the government. There's so much waste, fraud, and abuse. There's so much wasteful spending. That's what President Trump is trying to get a hold of. And what the Democrats are doing is saying, now let's just also go back. The Republicans don't support this CR either, okay? The continuing resolution is a continuation of the Biden era spending policies, which we Republicans are totally against because they're out of control. There's still COVID era spending money in there. And so we're against it, but we're for this to keep the government open and to make sure that America is functioning. And we can use those levers I was talking about earlier, the appropriations process, rescissions, to be able to scratch and claw back some of America's tax dollars. This is now out of control. The Democrats, they want a $1.6 trillion additional dollars on top of this clean CR to go to their pet projects. They do want to pay for health care for illegals.
Yes.
That's a couple $100 million. So look, these guys, they want to reconstitute PBS. They want to reconstitute USAID. They want all these things that they want. And they come with a price tag, and they are willing to shut down the government, to give America pain, to fight the same old battles they've already lost.
How do you, just briefly, David, could you tell me how you think this ends and how long you think this goes? Do Democrats blink or no?
Man, that's a great question. If I knew the answer, I would have had a crystal ball. But I got to tell you, it's the question of the day every day right now.
Yeah.
It is going to be, I believe, a lot longer. I think this goes into November.
Wow.
I see this going another couple of weeks easily. There's not even conversations to begin. Usually these things, they go a little bit, then there's a beginning of a conversation, then there's a movement. Within that, they come to some consensus on a few issues, and then it comes together. That usually takes several days or a week. From the beginning of the conversation, there's not even a conversation yet. So this thing's going to go on for a while.
All right, David Bossie, we will stay in touch as it does, and I hope you come back soon. Sorry for the hiccup earlier, but thanks for your time today, my friend.
Thanks so much for having me.